Okay, guys, we are going to do a little review lesson today over main idea and supporting details. I know this week with the story we're comparing and contrasting, but it's also a great story to use to remember how we as good readers can think about the details from a text, the little pieces of facts and information you learn as you read through a story, and think about how those details are all connected. What central idea is being repeated through the details? How are each of the details similar? What are they all talking about? And using those supporting details to help us identify the main idea or the most important idea from the story. So we're going to practice that today using our story, journey story of migration. But before you do that, we're going to listen to a little song. And the song is a great way to help us remember main idea and supporting detail.
I was reading in my class the other day. I gazed upon the question written on the page. What is the main idea of the story you just read? This little voice inside my brain so loudly said, what's the main idea? What message do you hear? Whether you write or read, there's a basic need to make the message clear. What's the main idea? Where do the details join? When every sentence leads, whether you write or read, to one central point. That's the main idea. I reread the story and wondered if I knew a way to state the main idea and show some proof. I found details that'll gave hint after hint. Now I think I know just what that question meant. What's the main idea? What message do you hear? Whether you write or read, there's a basic need to make the message clear. What's the main idea? Where do the details join? When every sentence leads, whether you write or read, to one central point. That's the main idea. I returned to the big question written out for me. I felt I knew the main idea was plain to see. I wrote my answer and I turned my paper in. On the way back to my seat, I saw my teacher grin. What's the main idea? What message do you hear? Whether you write or read, there's a basic need to make the message clear. What's the main idea? Where do the details join? When every sentence leads, whether you write or read, to a central point. That's the main idea. That's the main idea.
Okay, so just like we saw in the video, the main idea is that clear message you hear as you read through a particular text or story. And just like in the video, the boy found the main idea by first looking at the details. He found details to support the main idea. He looked through his paragraph and he thought, where are the small pieces of information throughout this paragraph? Once he located those details, then it was easy for him to say, how are these details connected? Where do they join? What central idea is being repeated through the detail? And that helped him identify the main idea. So we're going to practice that right now with a section from our text, Journey, Story of Migration. We're going to be looking on page 210 at this paragraph right here. We're going to read the paragraph, and just like in the video, we're going to look for supporting details that helps us identify the main idea. Desert locusts also cause accidents. Locusts fly very high as 2 miles up in the sky. And this can make it difficult for flying planes that have to move through the locust cloud. The swarms can also interfere with trains, and millions of crushed locusts on the highway will make cars slip and slide. So, like in the video, let's look at our details. What little facts, what little piece of information can we pull out of this section of text? It says that the locusts fly very high, and this makes it difficult for flying planes to move through the locust clouds. Okay, so we're going to put that over here in our chart. I'm going to summarize that a little bit and say locusts fly high, making it hard to fly planes through the locust cloud. Okay, so again, I kind of summarized that a little bit. But that's basically what we learned in the passage, that locusts fly very high, as high as 2 miles in the sky. And so this makes it difficult flying for planes that have to move through the clouds of locusts. Okay, the next detail in the passage says they can also interfere with trains. Okay, I'm plugging that detail into my graphic organizer. The locusts also interfere with trains, meaning trains traveling down the tracks can also have problems caused by these locust swarms. And then the last detail from the paragraph says that millions of crushed locusts on highways make the cars slip and slide. So again, that's another piece of information we pulled from this part of the story. Locusts crushed on highways make cars slip and slide. A little bit of background knowledge here tells me that cars slipping and sliding on the highway would not be safe. It may cause lots of problems or accidents with the cars. So now that I've identified the details from this part of the story, just like in the video, I'm thinking, how are these details connected? Okay, where do all the details lead me? Or is there some central idea being repeated throughout every detail? This detail is talking about how the locust swarms make it hard for planes to fly. The planes have a hard time flying through the locust clouds. This details talk about the locust clouds interfering with the trains. Okay, interfere means it causes problems for the train. And the last detail, the crushed locusts on the highway make cars slip and slide, which we know if you're slipping and sliding in your car, there's a good chance problems could happen, accidents, right? So we see that each detail is talking about how the locust swarms cause problems with different forms of transportation, flying, trains, and cars. And so thinking back to the paragraph, remember we talked last week about how it's always a good idea to check that first sentence of the paragraph, because just like when you write a paragraph, that first sentence is always your topic sentence, the sentence that tells the reader what you're going to be writing about. So not always, but sometimes we see that in the stories we read, where that first sentence kind of is like the main idea or the main topic. So when we examine the first sentence here in this paragraph, desert locusts also cause accidents. Okay, so could this be the main idea? I'm not just going to assume it is, because it isn't always the first sentence the main idea, but we have located supporting details. Do these supporting details support this is my main idea? Are each of the details talking about how locusts can cause accidents? Yes. So in fact, our main idea is that locusts can cause accidents. And I know that for fact because I proved this with supporting details found in the text. Okay? Always supporting our thinking with text evidence. So, we did one together. Now you guys need to try one on your own. You have a graphic organizer like this on your desk. you're going to get out your textbook and turn to page 215. And you're going to do the same steps we just did together to identify the main idea of the first paragraph, just this top paragraph here on page 215. Okay? Again, start out by just reading the paragraph. Go back and pull out the supporting details, the pieces of information you learned in this paragraph. Once you've got them plugged into your graphic organizer, look at each one carefully and think, how are each of my details connected? What central idea is being repeated through the details? What are these details telling more about? Okay, that helps me know the main idea. Okay, so once you've thought through your details, you need to write down what you think the main idea of your this paragraph, first paragraph on page 215 is. When we're finished with groups, we will come together and we will look at our answer.